What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Just back again with another video. This is your one-stop shop for anime and manga. Let's get into it. I want to start by saying thank you to everyone for subscribing. If you're new here, you like my content, you like what I'm doing, consider subscribing, leaving a like, hit the bell so I don't post no video. Also, follow me on Twitter. Links gonna be in the description. So I did something crazy. So last year, I did a manga collection video and this thought came into my head, right? I was like, damn, I wish I could have just like wrote down all of the different manga series that I've read throughout the entire year and just, maybe make a video on it. So I had that thought in December 2022. Fast forward, we in December 2023 and I did it. So I basically recorded all of the manga series that I've read throughout this entire year. And I gotta be completely honest, I honestly did not think I read that much. It's weird when you in this hobby, right? And you just reading manga, you just enjoying it. I'm just reading different series that I find enjoyable, reading things that I pick up to add to my collection. And I'm just basically enjoying the hobby. And when you sit back and you look at how much you've actually read, honestly, I've probably read more this year if I actually sit down and count it than I've read in my entire life. And that's saying something because, damn. And so I kind of wanted to just let y'all know my yearly reading log, I guess you could say. And it's just crazy when I think about it because it's really, really a lot of series and it's a lot of stuff. And I know I may be like hyping it up a little bit, but this is just a lot for me. Some people I know, I could bust out a whole bunch of series like it's that. Me, this is just a crazy number for me. So I'm not going to sit here and try to act like, I know everything that I read. I got my list. I've compiled it for the last 12 months. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So let's get into it. Before I start, just a rule of thumb, I'm basically just going to be showing the volume 1s of all the series that I've read, or at least I have physically, because I don't want to spoil anything in case y'all want to pick up some of these series. Some of these manga covers, they could be a little more spoiler. So I'm just going to show y'all volume 1s of the physical series, and then obviously I'll let y'all know kind of like my thoughts and basically how much I've read of the series, and hope y'all enjoy it. So the first thing I read start of the year, it was JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 2. Love this series, one of my favorite JoJo parts. I read the entire series, all 4, and it's not really much to say. Love JoJo, I highly recommend. So this list is not in no particular order. It kind of is for the things that I read like in succession. But then there's series here and there that I've just compiled a list and things like that. So it's not in the correct order, I guess you could say. But basically, it's what I've read. And so the next series I read was JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3. And this one, I'll be completely honest, I cannot get through it. I've seen the entire anime. I've tried reading this twice. I can only get through about 6 volumes. I just think Part 3 is a little too long for me. Don't get me wrong, I really do like the introduction of Stan Powers, but yeah, it's just too long. Once they start getting to Egypt, it's like, you gotta pick up the pace. So I only read about, I think it was 6 volumes, and I just left it at that because I know the series, I know what happened, so I left it. Now I also read Part 6 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and because this is the first time that I'm actively collecting JoJo as they're releasing, I'm actually reading these as they come out. When I started collecting JoJo, Part 5 was already like damn near halfway out, so I decided not to actually go through and read it as the volumes came out because I watched the anime. But for Part 6, I decided, you know what, let me just pick these up because it's going to be about 9 volumes, so let me just read these as they come out. The next series is School Judgment. So I read all 3 volumes of School Judgment and I loved it. It's a nice little twist on law and elementary school kids. It's not created. The art is by Takeshi Obata, and he is by far my favorite manga artist, so I truly love his artwork. His art style is a little more cartoony. For those of you who don't know, he's the guy that, or half of the guys that did Death Note, Bakuman, Platinum Men. So he's just the artist that does the works, and I love his artwork. Now, School Judgment is a little more niche. I wouldn't really recommend it to everyone. After that, it was Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe Volumes 1 and 2, and it's incredible. I love the little short stories. I do love the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure universe, and Rohan is by far my favorite character, so I highly enjoyed it when he had these little short stories. If I had to think which one was better in my eyes, I kind of liked Volume 2 more than Volume 1, just because Volume 2 had more stories that happened to him. Volume 1 was more like him sitting down in a campfire telling stories kind of thing. Next, we have Volumes 1 and 2 of Doubt. Easily probably one of my top horror mangas. I've been trying to get into horror manga a little more recently, and Doubt is a nice psychological thriller horror manga. I do think it's a nice beginner manga because it's not too, gruesome, too scary or anything like that. But definitely if you can get your hands on it, pick this up. Next I read, now this title still eludes me. It is World's Finest Assassin Gets Reincarnated in Another World as an Aristocrat. So that's this. It's one of my favorite isekais. I saw the anime, just fell in love. At the moment, there's only, I think it's, let me see here, 5 volumes. So I read all 5, and I don't know what the hell happened. So the 5th volume dropped, I read it, and it's been a minute since I've read anything else. I think the 5th volume dropped like in March-ish. So I don't know if it's the series on hiatus or anything like that, but it's one of my favorite isekais. I really do like it. Basically, the world's greatest assassin gets reincarnated in a fantasy world in an assassin family. So it's nice. He got all his memories. A little kind of like Jobless Reincarnation vibes, but truly, truly good. The next one really needs no introduction. Y'all know how much I love, especially the next couple series, and that's Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead. And as of right now, there are, let me see here, it's 12 volumes of Zom 100, and it's so good. Y'all already know. I spoke about this enough, so I read all 12 volumes. I'm still reading it as he's going. And then the next series that y'all know I'm in love with is Candy and Cigarettes. For Candy and Cigarettes, there are 6 volumes, and it's so good. Those 2 series are just like my favorite ongoing physical series as of right now, and I really do enjoy it. After that, we have Solo Leveling. I am super excited for the anime that's going to drop in the next week or two. So excited. And Solo Leveling is so good. So I basically read the entire thing, and that's everything that's out, which is 7 volumes, and it's incredible. I highly recommend it. The manga is a little expensive. I mean, $20 a volume is a little... but you do get that beautiful color art, and it's so good. One of my favorite series, definitely my favorite manhwa. After that, we got volumes 1 and 2 of Deadpool Samurai. Basically, nothing to say. It's literally Deadpool in manga format. It's amazing. I really do love it. If you're a huge Marvel Deadpool fan, I do recommend this because it reads really well. It reads a lot like just a normal Deadpool comic book, but he's making manga references, so I really do enjoy that. And he's just funny, and the art's amazing, so highly recommend it. It's only 2 volumes, not that bad. After that, we have easily the best manga covers I got in my collection. See that right here? That is Platinum End. So this is created by Oba and Obata Sensei, and this is their 3rd series together after Death Note and Bakuman. And I read all 14 volumes. I had to pick these up. Now, it's probably their weaker out of the 3, but it's still really good. I highly do recommend it. The anime is out. I think the anime is a pretty good adaptation, but I just like the manga a little bit better because it's a little faster pace. After that, I read Crazy Food Truck, all 3 volumes. This was a surprise. This hit me like a whirlwind. I was not expecting to enjoy this as much as it is. It's like a nice, crazy, gourmet, dystopian world. It's just incredible. Nice beginner series. I do highly recommend it. It is a little more risque, for my older audience. I do recommend Sia because there is the explicit content label on it. But if you up age, I highly recommend to pick this up because it's a nice read, especially with only 3 volumes. So those were a lot of the physical manga that I've read throughout the year, and that's basically what I've been collecting through the year. I still have a lot more, don't get me wrong, but now we're going to get to basically the bulk of what I've read because 95% of what I read is actually digital manga. And the first one is going to be One Piece. Obviously, like I said, I'm just using volume 1 to show everything. But so I've been reading One Piece. I've been reading One Piece weekly for the past 2-3 years. Not 3, 2 years I've been reading One Piece weekly. So now we're going to start going into my weekly series. And these are basically the Shonen Jump and Viz Manga series that I read week to week or month to month or bi-weekly depending on, everything. But so One Piece needs no introduction. That's the first one. After that, we have Jujutsu Kaisen. I love Jujutsu Kaisen. It's nice. I do think it's a little overrated. It's not as good as the hype will make you think. But don't get me wrong, the anime, just a beautiful artwork, beautiful fights. The manga's a little more rough because it's just crazy hell them fights as you see how choreographed they are. But I like Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm going to continue to read it until it finishes, and I think we're in the final arc, so that's going to be exciting. Next is another thing that's in the last arc, My Hero Academia. I've been reading My Hero Academia since like season 2, I think, something like that. And I love My Hero Academia. It's really, really good. It grew on me, but I will have to say My Hero Academia is the one series that I don't really like the main characters. By that I mean Bakugo, Deku, All Might a little bit. I don't really like him. I like more of the side characters more. I like, Ingenium. I like Eraserhead. I like, what's his name? Damn it, I'm forgetting his name. It's Present Mike. Those kind of guys I'm really enjoying. I like them, their stories more. But I do like My Hero Academia. And we're in the final arc, so I'm going to finish that to the end. Can't wait. Now, next is a different type of series. So I read this digitally. I also read it physically. And that's My Hero Academia Vigilantes. The spin-off prequel to My Hero Academia. It's so, so good. I think this is by far way, way better than My Hero Academia until they get to the war arc, which I think is season 6. If I'm right with the anime, let me know if I'm right about that. But it's amazing, amazing series. I highly, highly recommend it. I really wish they would just bring this one to an anime because it deserves it. It's so good. A little darker tone, but definitely amazing. After that, we have Black Clover. So I was reading Black Clover when it was coming out weekly throughout this whole year. I think it recently took its hiatus like around the summer, I think it was. And if I heard correctly, they're supposed to be bringing back Black Clover, I think Christmas Day for their, I think it's Jump Giga, and that's supposed to be like a quarterly series. So I don't know. I truly like Black Clover. I think it was really, really good. So I cannot wait to finish it. And that too is almost ending. So all these crazy series I'm reading weekly are going to end soon. So I'm a little sad about that. After that, we got my 2 monthly series. And that's Dragon Ball Super. And that's Boruto. So I know, a lot of people, they don't like Boruto because of this, that, and the third. Listen, the manga's good. Anime's terrible. But the manga's good. Anime got way too much filler. The anime's only ever hyped up when they're animating the manga chapters. So the anime is bad. Don't watch the anime, but definitely read the manga. It's nice. Will it eclipse Naruto? I don't know. But with the way that things happen in the time skip of Boruto, I don't know. A lot could happen with that one. As far as Dragon Ball Super, technically, I really haven't been reading it that much for the past couple months because they've been doing the superhero movie with Gohan and Piccolo. So I watched the movie. I really, really enjoyed the movie. But I don't feel like rereading the entire thing. So I'm just like skimming through Dragon Ball Super manga until they get out of that arc. So that's the 2 monthly chapters I've been reading. After that, we have the Naruto one-shot that's about Minato, his backstory. And I think it was called Naruto World of the Spiral or Spiral Within, something like that. Read the one-shot. I loved it. Minato's one of my favorite characters. I do wish it was a little more, but you get what you get. It's been a while since Naruto ended, and I just like having a little more Naruto. After that, I read and completed Mashle, Magic and Muscle. I love Mashle. It's a nice, amazing series. Now, I am mad that, well, not mad. I'm a little sad that it ended because it was a really, really good series, but it definitely could not go on forever. I knew that. So I do like how it just wrapped up, and it's a really, really good series. Nice little parody on One Punch Man meets Harry Potter. That's what you always hear everyone say. And One Punch Man is just, I think, a nice action gag manga. It's really, really good. After that, we have Martial Master Asumi. This is a more recent series, and it's basically a nice sports series about mixed martial arts, and it's really, really good. I talked about it a little bit, but basically, he wants to fight his brother for reasons that you'll know when you read the manga, because it's a little bit spoilery. So basically, it's just a sports series about him wanting to fight his brother. But in the beginning, he did not want to become a mixed martial artist. He just basically stumbled upon it, and it just takes off from there. After that, I've been reading a newer series again. It's called Shoujo No, and it's a nice, good series on Shonen Jump. It's not the best thing by any means, but I am really enjoying it. Basically, a robot, this is like an iRobot type of thing where the robots are built to do the people's bidding. She ends up, I think it was, getting lost, and she realizes that she kind of has sentience. So basically, she wants to liberate the other robots because they're being mistreated and they're basically being slaves. And it's a little more dark and gruesome than you would think, especially coming from a Shonen Jump series, but it is really, really good. I highly recommend that one. After that, I have I Want to End This Love Game, and that one I'm currently up to date as well. So basically everything that I've been talking about when it comes to like my digital stuff, I'm more or less up to date. If not up to date, I finished it because the series is finished. So next is I Want to End This Love Game, and it's nice. I really love my wholesome slice of life type of series. Nice little rom-com. I've talked about it before. I do highly recommend it. It's a nice, just cozy read, and it's just jokes. It actually made me laugh out loud plenty of times. Next, we got a series that jumped to probably one of the top 3 manga series I've ever read, and that's Call the Night. I don't know, Call the Night, it just hit different for me. It was a nice slice of life-ish rom-com about vampires, and it was just amazing. I mean, I really do think Call of the Night is going to go down as one of the most amazing series. I really did enjoy it, and right now I'm up to date. From the way it looks like it's going to be ending soon, so that I'm a little bit sad. But the good thing is, silver lining is, once it's done, I'm going to collect Call of the Night, get that physically. I don't want to do it now because I got a lot of series that I'm currently doing physically, especially ongoing series, so I'm trying to limit my ongoing series to at least series that are completed. But definitely highly recommend Call of the Night. It's by far one of the best series I've read. Basically, probably the best series I've read this year, if I'm being honest. Next, we got the series that took the entire internet by storm, and that's Kagurabachi. Kagurabachi is the newest action shonen, and it's basically about a guy who needs to get the enchanted swords back from, I think it's like the mafia type of thing, and he's just a badass. The artwork is incredible. The storytelling is beautiful. I don't see it where people was talking about this is the next big thing, the next big shonen jump, next big 3 or whatever. I don't see that personally, but it is a really good series, and the artwork is beautiful. Next, and one of the last digital series I'm reading is Wild Strawberry. This one is a lot like Blue Exorcist, Jujutsu Kaisen type of thing, but instead of demons, it's plants. So the plants are, basically almost like Fire Force in that way, where people just like sprout, and they sprout plants instead of human combustion, right? So they sprout and they just go ahead and they eat people. And then the main character obviously gets one of these plants inside of him, and now he's gonna fight the plants. So like I said, Jujutsu Kaisen meets Blue Exorcist type of story. But this artwork is, again, beautiful. I mean, I don't know what's going on with these series that the artworks have just been incredible, especially these newer series. And it's incredible. The story, it's a little more basic for Wild Strawberry because, like I said, it has a lot of the same Shonen Jump tropes. But don't get me wrong, it's definitely worth the read, especially right now. It's really good. It's picking up, and I highly recommend that one. The last digital series I'm reading right now is Blue Box. And Blue Box is a nice slice of lifey type of series about a guy who's a badminton player and a woman who is a basketball player. Yeah, basketball player. So basically she has to end up living with him. He has a crush on her, but she has to live with him because her family moved overseas, but she wants to go to nationals. And the only way she can go to nationals is that she has to basically stay with the family friend, being his family. He has a crush on her. And it's just a nice series because it gives you motivation. It's one of those series that when they talk to each other, they just motivate each other. They motivate everything. They make me want to do things like, better myself. And just I can see the drive that they have because they both want to go to nationals. And that drive in a manga series, it's really nice. Now for this one, I'm not up to date as of yet. I think I just started this. I'm probably like 20, 30 chapters deep. But I'm truly loving it. It's really good. Again, incredible artwork. Now, this one, it won't be like one of my favorites or anything like that, but I highly do think myself, like, I'm really going to enjoy it. So I am enjoying it right now. And I do recommend Blue Box just to honestly get some motivation. Because once you read a couple chapters of that, you're going to be like, no, I can do whatever I want to do. I know I said Blue Box was the last one. I messed up. I also have 2 other ones that I read digitally, and that was Happiness, which is a lot of people compare it to Tokyo Ghoul. I don't really like comparing it to Tokyo Ghoul because it's only relatable in that way because in this case, the vampire bites the guy and he has to live basically in between. So that's like the only connection that a lot of people compare it to Tokyo Ghoul, but it's a lot darker. It's a real crazy story. A lot of crazy stuff happens. And Happiness is like one of those most bingeable series I've ever read because it's 10 volumes long. I read all 10 in one sitting. And it's an incredible vampire series. Definitely more for like the older audience because a lot of messed up stuff happens in that. So I do recommend Happiness for a lot of people, but that one definitely like buyer beware because a lot of crazy stuff has happened. And the final digital series I read was The Promised Neverland. I saw the season 1 of the anime, fell in love. I knew better to watch season 2. Don't worry, I knew about that. So I decided to pick up the manga and basically read everything. So volumes 1 to 20. And Promised Neverland is an incredible series. I cannot wait to pick up the box set. I gotta do that eventually. But Promised Neverland, I don't know. A lot of people say like the manga fell off. I don't see it that way. It just kept on riding that high. Don't get me wrong, like the first few arcs were definitely the best, but the ending was incredible. I really did like the ending. I liked how everything ended up turning out. And Promised Neverland is definitely gonna be one of my favorite series when it's all said and done, most likely. Alright. So are y'all tired? Because I'm tired. And I'm still not done. So those were just the digital series that I've read. So I decided to break it up a little bit. So I went physical, digital. Now we're going to go back to physical. And the next series I read physically, I told you I read a lot of series this year. And I was kind of like, damn, it's really a lot. So next is Dorohedoro. So I read all 23 volumes of Dorohedoro. Incredible seinen. This one, I just binged it. It took me a while to collect everything. But once I did, I binged it all. And the story, it definitely can get a little confusing, especially towards the ending. As y'all know, you can see behind me, the ending, when it starts getting to those thicker volumes, is a little more confusing. But, I mean, it's not too bad. You just have to, like, read it slow. Maybe reread a couple volumes, a couple chapters. But you can keep up with it. After that, we have Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. And I read all 9 volumes. Now, this is not the anime. Not even close. The anime is my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, but this series is completely different. No one told me this going into it. So I'm reading Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's thing is going to be what I loved about the anime. The only thing that's the same about 5D's manga and the anime are the characters, and not even the characters. Like, basically, Yusei, Jack, and the Sign of Dragons are there. But they don't, like, the relationships, the entire story is completely different. And I will say I kind of like the manga a little bit. The manga definitely was not the greatest, I'll be honest. I'm a big Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan. Wasn't the greatest, but I really did enjoy it. Not bad, but that's one I probably won't recommend. Definitely stay clear or read just like the original Yu-Gi-Oh! After that, we have easily my favorite rom-com, and that's High Score Girl. All 10 volumes, I read that. And it's just a nice rom-com about 2 kids and their love for video games. There's nothing more I can say about that because it's just incredible. So the next one's going to be a little bit tricky because it depends on how you want to count it. And that's the Yu-Gi-Oh! 3-in-1. So there's 13 of these volumes, which is what I have. But actually it's 34 volumes altogether. So depending on how you want to count it, I read the entire Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. Fell in love with it. I prefer this over the anime, and that's saying a lot. Because coming from volume 1 to the end, a lot of the threads, they really go together very well. When in the anime, some of the threads, because they couldn't really start with like the OG series, it was a little choppy. So I highly do recommend just reading the manga because it's really good. After that, I have Dead Company. I read both volumes. I'm about to say all, but yeah, there's only 2 out right now. And this was by the same creator that made Doubt. He made Secret and he made Judge. I have not read those yet, but I had to pick up Dead Company because it's a nice twist on the horror genre because my dude, he survived the horror game already. So now he's working behind the scenes for the company that did the horror game, but he didn't know he was working for them. It's just a whole crazy psychological story. I do recommend it, but it's a little different because it's not just like, I gotta survive, I gotta do all this. It's more, the behind the scenes stuff is more like psychological where he's thinking, how can I, basically he wants to end these death games. So he's trying to do his magic and just eventually bring everything down. But it go left. That's all I'm gonna say. So definitely check out that company if you want to know more about that. Next, you got probably the most expensive volumes in this damn collection, and that's Erased. So I read all 5 volumes of Erased, loved it, loved the anime. I think the manga ending is better. I think I said that before. The manga ending is 10 times better than the anime. So if you didn't like the anime ending because you was like, it's a little too much, definitely read the manga ending because it's by far way better. Next we have It Takes Two Tomorrow 2. I only read the 1 volume. It's incredible because there's only 1 out right now, and it's incredible. I love these little slice of life rom-com series, especially this one because they're about older couple. You know, he's I think 25, she's 28. So it really resonates with me, and it's just a nice, chill read. I promise, we're almost done. Next is All You Need Is Kill. I've said great things about this. I reread it. It's just the 1 volume. Easily my number 1 pick when it comes to beginner manga because it's just this 1 volume. Nice, contained self-story. Incredible. Basically, he relives the same day over and over again, trying to end the time loop while fighting like aliens, I guess they are. I recommend this a lot. Next, we have A Silent Voice. I just read this, and it was incredible. And this one's a little bit of a spoiler because I haven't shown this off in a manga haul. So, spoiler, I picked up A Silent Voice, the box set. Incredible, read all 7 volumes. And the last one, a little bit slight spoiler because, again, I didn't show this in the manga haul, but Magical Girl Apocalypse. This was insane. I still don't know what the hell happened in this volume. I only picked up 1 right now. Only read 1. But my God, it's just gruesome and it's all types of crazy. That one's going to give me a lot of nightmares eventually if I keep going. But I think I would like it so far. But I don't know what the story is as of yet. It's just a lot that happens. If you just want to see the list of all the series that I've read, here it is. So you can just pause the video here, look at the list, see exactly what I've read throughout the entire year. If I missed 1 or 2 volumes, I am sorry. It's a lot to go through. So like I said, that was it. And now if we're going based on volumes, on basically what I've read in terms of how many physical volumes I've read, I think the number is somewhere around 169 volumes. That's a lot. I know a lot of people, they could just bust through 169 volumes or 100 volumes like it's nothing. When I think about it, that was a lot of series I've read this year. And that's not even including my digital chapters because I don't know how to quantify that. I am not going to sit here and be like, I've read, 50 chapters of One Piece. I've read another 45 chapters of Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm not putting myself through that type of torture. So combining, I'm just going to round up, combining everything between my digital chapters as well as just the physical volumes, I'm going to round up to maybe 190, something like that. You could let me know if I'm way off, but this is basically everything that I've compiled for the entire year, and I really enjoy this hobby. It's so much fun. Looking back on it, I honestly did not think I read that much. I swear I only read maybe 30-40 volumes. That's really what I thought I read. But then I look back at my list because I just type down what I read after either when I started or when I'm done. And when I look back on it trying to make this video, I read a lot. So that's it. I'm tired. This is probably going to be my longest video I've ever done. But damn, it's a lot. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. I know it probably was a lot, but I do appreciate you. Thank you so much for showing support. If you're new here and you like my content, you like what I'm doing, consider subscribing, leaving a like, hit the bell so I don't post another video. Follow me on Twitter. Links going to be in the description. This is your boy Just. I'm off this.